She called me from her kitchen at 6 in the morning. Her voice was shaking, not from fear exactly, but from that particular kind of exhaustion that goes all the way down to the bone. She said, "Dr. Jenkins, I haven't slept through the night in almost 2 years. And last week, I forgot my granddaughter's middle name. I've known that name since the day she was born. Her name was Dorothy. She's 67, from Georgia. And what she said next has stayed with me ever since. She said, 'I don't know if I'm just tired or if I'm starting to lose myself.'" I had to sit down because I'd heard versions of that sentence before, but something about the way Dorothy said it, the quiet in it, hit differently. That question, am I losing myself? That's not a medical question. That's a human one, and it deserves a real answer. I'm Dr. Sarah Jenkins. I practice integrative medicine out of Austin, Texas, and I've spent the last 19 years working specifically with patients over 60 who are dealing with sleep problems, brain fog, and early memory concerns. I've sat with over 2,000 patients who came to me saying some version of what Dorothy said. And what I've learned, what the research is now confirming, is that these two things, sleep and memory, are not separate issues. They are the same issue. And they share a window, a very specific window that opens every single night. Here's what I need you to understand, and I need you to really hear this. Most people think memory loss happens gradually over years, but the latest neuroscience is showing us something far more alarming. Memory damage can accumulate night by night. Every night you don't sleep deeply enough, your brain misses its one chance to clean itself. Not metaphorically, literally. There is a system inside your brain called the glymphatic system. It functions almost exclusively during deep sleep, and its job is to flush out a protein called amyloid beta. You may have heard of it. It's the same protein that researchers find accumulated in the brains of people with Alzheimer's. Think about that for a moment. Your brain has a built-in cleaning crew. They show up at night. And if you're not reaching deep sleep, if you're waking up at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or lying there staring at the ceiling, those cleaners never get to do their job. The debris stays. It builds, night after night. And here is what makes this so urgent. This is not something that becomes a problem in 10 years. A large-scale study published in Nature Communications followed adults over 60 for more than 2 decades. The researchers found that people who consistently slept less than 6 hours per night in their 50s and 60s had a significantly higher risk of developing dementia. The window is now. What you do tonight and every night this week is already affecting your brain's future. I'm not telling you this to frighten you. I'm telling you because frightened people don't change. Informed people do. And there is so much you can do, which is exactly why I want to walk through the one thing that matters most before bed. Not a pill, not a gadget, one mechanism. And once you understand how it works, everything else will make sense. Your brain cannot enter deep, restorative sleep while it's carrying cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It's designed to keep you alert, vigilant, ready to react. And for most people over 60, cortisol levels in the evening are chronically elevated. The reasons are everywhere. The news, loneliness, a body that's become more sensitive to stress over time, a nervous system that doesn't come down the way it used to. When cortisol is high at bedtime, your brain never goes deep. You may fall asleep, but you're hovering, skimming the surface, never reaching the stage where glymphatic cleaning actually happens. So the one thing before bed is this. You have to give your brain a biological signal that the threat is over, that it is safe to go deep. This is where most sleep advice completely misses the mark. People tell you to avoid screens, which is fine. They tell you to keep the room cool, also fine. But none of that directly lowers cortisol. None of that tells your brain's survival system to stand down. What does? There are several natural compounds that researchers have identified as directly supporting the cortisol to calm transition. Ashwagandha root has been shown in multiple double-blind trials to significantly reduce evening cortisol. Magnesium glycinate supports the production of GABA. That's your brain's natural off switch. L-theanine, found in green tea, promotes alpha brainwave activity, the same pattern your brain enters just before deep sleep. And there's a compound that most people have never heard of called apigenin. It's found in chamomile, and it directly binds to GABA receptors in the brain. It doesn't sedate you, it settles you. There is a difference. Sedation suppresses brain activity. GABA activation allows your brain to transition naturally into the deep sleep it was designed to have. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you already know I don't recommend supplements casually. I spend years looking at the mechanism before I point a patient toward anything. And I want to pause here. If what I'm sharing is resonating with you, go check the pinned comment right now. I put something there for you. Come back and keep watching, but check it first. Which brings me to something I want to share, not as a recommendation exactly, but as a discovery. After years of researching exactly this mechanism, cortisol, glymphatic function, GABA pathways, I found a formula that someone had put together with real precision. It's called the Brain Song. And when I looked at what was in it and why, I recognized it immediately. This wasn't a random blend. Someone had done the work. The specific compounds, the forms they were in, the way they were combined to actually support the cortisol to deep sleep pathway. I shared it with a handful of patients first, cautiously. I always do. Dorothy was one of them. She called me 6 weeks later, not at 6 a.m., not with a shaking voice. She called in the afternoon. She said, "I slept 5 hours straight on the third night. And last Tuesday, I woke up and I just felt clear, like myself." She wasn't talking about being cured of anything. She was talking about having herself back in the morning. Carol is 71, from Arizona. She'd been waking up 3 to 4 times a night for years. She told me she'd tried everything: melatonin, white noise, blackout curtains. Nothing kept her asleep past 2 a.m. After about 4 weeks, she told me she was waking up once, sometimes not at all, and that for the first time in a long time, she was remembering her dreams. That matters more than most people realize. Dream sleep is memory consolidation sleep. Her brain was reaching those stages again. Linda is 68 from Tennessee. Her concern wasn't just sleep, it was the fog. She described sitting down to read and feeling like the words weren't sticking, like she'd read the same paragraph 3 times and it would just dissolve. She told me that about a month in, her reading comprehension came back. She said, "I finished a whole chapter and I remembered all of it." She cried when she told me that. I understand why. Barbara is 74 from Virginia. She came to me skeptical. She told me she didn't believe anything natural could do what pharmaceutical sleep aids couldn't. I didn't argue with her. I just asked her to give it 30 days and keep notes. At 30 days, she came back and said, "I still don't fully understand why it works, but my husband says I'm not restless anymore, and I haven't lost my keys in 3 weeks." She laughed when she said it. So did I. I want to speak to you directly now, the way I would if you were sitting across from me. If you are waking up in the night and you can't figure out why, if you're moving through your days with a heaviness behind your eyes, if you've had a moment, even one, where something familiar slipped away and you felt that cold flash of worry, please don't wait. Not because there is something catastrophic happening, but because the window is real, the mechanism is real, and the support exists. This is not about being afraid. This is about being the person who acts while there is still everything to gain. I don't want you to leave today without knowing about the Brain Song. I looked at this formula the way I look at everything, skeptically, carefully, through the lens of mechanism, and it held up. The link is in the pinned comment. I put it there because I want it to be easy for you to find. Go look, read what's there, and then make your own decision. That's all I ask. You deserve to sleep through the night. You deserve to wake up and feel like yourself. And your brain deserves the chance, every single night, to do exactly what it was built to do. The pinned comment is waiting for you. Go take a look.